Greetings to all Southern Cameroonians on ground zero and across the world. This is King Adrian. For the last month, especially last week, there's one particular name that has been, that's been made popular within the so-called revolution of Ambazonia versus La République du Cameroon, which is Moja. Chief Moja, the military of La République du Cameroon, the chief of, or at least one of the chief of Southern Cameroon, or one of the chief of Fako division of Fako County. His name has become so popular. Why? Because he's been spreading xenophobic, spreading tribalistic tendencies, spreading hate from tribe to tribe, especially the northwestern people. Moja has been going around threatening people from northwest to leave Fako division, to the point where the prime minister of La République Cameroon visited him personally. According to the laws, he was supposed to be in jail for spreading hatred towards the people. But because Southern Cameroonians are not considered Cameroonians, or at least they are not considered people, or at least they are considered second or third class people in La République Cameroon, well, Moja is more important to them than the people of the northern zone or the people of northwest. So because of that, he's not going to go to jail. He's become more popular to the point where Equinox actually had an interview with him. So, as Eric Gato said, if you want to become popular in Cameroon, spread xenophobia in Cameroon, and you have a visit from the Prime Minister of La République du Cameroon. Maybe some artists should start doing that in music, or start doing it in videos, and they become more popular. But the reason why this issue with Moja, it's so what it is because in the first place, the people of Southern Cameroon are divided. The spread of division within the people of Southern Cameroon has continuously been done for the past 50-something years since the unification or reunification with the La République du Cameroon. It's a certain disease that has been implanted in order to control Southern Cameroon. Since they tried to assimilate, they couldn't. Making sure that the people of Southwest and Northwest are always at headlock, always fighting against each other, positive in a negative way, in order for them to control, divide, and conquer. The best strategy that President Paul Biya used and continues to use. But the reason why this is successful is because us Southern Cameroonians are also divided. So that the seed of division is already within us, and it's just been invoked. It's just been brought out. And you see certain people act so xenophobic, or spread xenophobic, or say tribalistic nonsense. Is this going to end? Probably not. Because even within the leadership of Southern Cameroon, who are supposed to be fighting for the restoration of Southern Cameroon, the restoration of Ambazonia, continue to practice xenophobic or tribalistic tendencies within the leadership. Which is why somebody like Samuel Sako and Dr. Choayaba can never meet eye to eye. Though Choayaba has also done his own con acts, but somebody like Samuel Sako is a bigger con artist for raising 8.8 million US dollars and not really doing anything for the revolution. I don't know how much Dr. Choayaba has raised, but I'm quite sure he's raised a lot. Though he has actually, bought some guns, but still those guns are not enough to do anything for the revolution, because we have the military of Light Republic of Cameroon all over our 14 counties. If we cannot remove the enemy within our 14 counties, how can we defeat Light Republic and regain our independence? That is the golden question that every Southern Cameroon, every Ambazonian must think about. If we cannot remove all the military camps that are all over the 14 counties inside Southern Cameroon by Light Republic of Cameroon, and how are we going to defeat them? Especially when we don't have the supreme weapon that we need to fight this war, because leaders like Samuel Sako, who raised 8 million US dollars, 4.8 billion CFA, squander the shit, and they do nothing to aid the revolution, and they claim to be leaders. How many times have they tried to just come around and speak as one for the revolution, and it really never works? Why? Because there is xenophobic, there is tribalistic, there is divide and conquer within the people of Southern Cameroon themselves, which is why we're in chains. We want freedom, but we don't want to free ourselves. We want freedom, but we cannot free ourselves mentally, because most Southern Cameroonians don't really depend on Southern Cameroonians. They more likely fight against each other to survive. Leaders sell each other to, most of the chiefs sell each other to Light Republic of Cameroon in order to gain favors. Which is why at one point you have this person as a prime minister, next point they have this other person as prime minister. Back and forth, the same system Light Republic of Cameroon uses to conquer all Southern Cameroonians. And we still have that system within us. And yet we're still fighting. We're fighting to liberate ourselves from that system, yet still stuck in that system. It is really controversial and contradictory. How are we going to win this revolution when we cannot depend on ourselves? We cannot even raise money and use the money for the purpose it was raised for. $8 million was raised. 4.8 billion CFA. I don't know how much Dr. Choayaba raised. I'm quite sure he raised a huge sum of amount. But still, we have 14 counties? Not one county has been liberated. When I say liberated, I'm meaning that all the forces of Light Republic of Cameroon, which is inside one or any of the counties, is completely wiped out from that county, to the point where all the soldiers on that county is under one military, or is under the leadership of Southern Cameroon. But we don't have that. But a lot of money has been spent in the revolution, and the leaders are not doing the necessary job to liberate Southern Cameroon. Now, am I saying that we have lost completely? No. But are we winning? No. We're stuck in the conundrum where we don't know how to move forward. Like probably Cameroon don't know how to move forward because now they're trying to get more soldiers to join, because many of the soldiers have deserted. Many of the soldiers have run away because many of them are dying as they go across southern Cameroon. Most of them are running away. So they also need to raise the military, and they need funds in order to pay this military. But we also need to raise a military, and we need funds to raise the military. And if our leaders are eating the funds that has been raised for the military, then how are we going to liberate southern Cameroon? How are we going to do that, southern Cameroonians? If the money that was raised to be used for a purpose is not being used for the purpose it was raised for, how are we going to defeat Light Cameroon? Because in order to win war is money. War is money. The budget of the military of the United States for just the military pretty much surpass so many countries in Africa, because they spend huge money, sums of money in the military, and you need that if you want to have a strong military. 4 years, Troy Eber has tried somewhat. I could give him that much credit, but still, he's tried. What he has done is still not enough. It's not substantial to change the outcome of what we are looking for. It's not substantial to give us liberation. In order to have liberation, the counties, in the militia counties, must become powerful. The militia counties must work more unitedly. The militia counties must stop fighting against each other. The militia county must not necessarily be controlled by one person. Just have to work as a team. It could be in multiple leadership, but so long as it works as a team, so long as they understand that we are Southern Cameroonians, and we don't have to attack each other, but we have to concentrate on the enemy. We have to use the funds that we have raised for the purpose it was raised for. Because when people are given money and they're not seeing results, the tendency is that they will stop giving money. And without finances, Southern Cameroon will lose hope. I'm not saying this to be so negative, but it's reality. In order to move forward, you must understand reality, must understand what you're dealing with in order to prevent and succeed in what you're trying to accomplish. $8 million and nothing to show for. And you say you are a leader, and many people give praises to this so-called king of 419 known as Dr. Samuel Sako, a thief, a bona fide criminal who steals from the blood of his own people. He's 10 times worse than Biya. At least Biya steals, but they fund from the resources. He doesn't steal directly from the people, but you are stealing from the people who have been in chains for over 50 years and have summoned the courage to actually fight against the enemy, raised money to be used for the purpose that it was raised for, but still you decide to eat the money. They're coming up with schemes to balance each side so that you look better. It still doesn't add up. What Samuel Sako has done still does not add up. Where is the 8 million US dollars? Where is the 4.8 billion CFA? Dr. Samuel Sako, what have you done with the people's money? Why are you being so cruel, demonic to the people who have given their lives to restore the nation they believe in? Why are you being that devilish? You're worse than Paul Biya. But for somebody like Dr. Chowayaka, he might raise all the money with his lawyer funds, but without coming up with a plan that will secure the success of our independence, or that will secure the success of our restoration of our independence, I'm still looking at a lost cause due to the fact that Choayaba doesn't want to work with other leaders. Choayaba wants to be the Muhammad, the Jesus, the savior of Southern Cameroon. But that doesn't work in nations. Even Muhammad was paid his life for it. Still, it doesn't work. We need to change our strategy if we want to win this war. We have an opportunity here, and we do not want to lose this opportunity, because when we do, the map that I saw, how Northwest and Southwest was completely erased and joined to Bafoussam and Douala, will be the image, because we will be completely assimilated to the fact that we won't even have an identity. We will just be slaves to the Republic of Cameroon. So we must win this war by any means necessary, and the leadership of Southern Cameroon must come together. If they feel anything for their people who are suffering, if they do feel anything for their people who are perishing, they must come together and win this war. There's no turning back. We cannot be members of the Republic anymore. We cannot be members of the Republic. Right? Rather than being members, they should just wipe us off from the map. It's that simple. We must regain and restore our own nation and be free and a sovereign nation, or die trying. This is King H.